Most people think they have an earning problem. They do not. They have a keeping problem. Money comes in. Effort is real. But the account never grows the way it should. And the reason is almost never what you think it is. There are 5 structural leaks that drain wealth before it can accumulate. They are invisible because they do not look like spending. They look like normal life. And until you identify them, no amount of income will fix the gap. The first leak is emotional volatility. This is spending driven by mood, not by need, and not by plan. When you feel anxious, you buy comfort. When you feel successful, you buy celebration. When you feel deprived, you buy compensation. The purchases are different each time. The pattern is identical. An internal state triggers an external expense. This is not about discipline. Discipline cannot override an emotional pattern it does not recognize. The person who stress buys a $200 pair of shoes and the person who panic sells an investment are running the same program. The trigger is internal. The cost is financial. And because each individual decision seems small or justified in the moment, the cumulative drain goes unnoticed for years. The second leak is identity inconsistency. This is when your financial confidence depends entirely on your most recent result. After a good month, you feel wealthy. You expand. You spend freely. You make plans from a position of abundance. After a bad month, you contract. You panic. You cut everything and operate from scarcity. Your identity toggles between 2 versions of yourself depending on the latest data point. The problem is not the good month or the bad month. The problem is that neither version is stable. Wealth requires a consistent internal identity, someone who behaves the same whether the account is up or down. Without that consistency, every gain gets spent during the expansion phase, and every loss gets amplified during the contraction. The net result over years is 0, not because the person did not earn enough, but because they were 2 different people with money. The third leak is boundary erosion. This one operates through a single phrase, just this once. You set a budget, you hold it for 2 weeks, then something comes up, a dinner, a sale, an opportunity, and you make an exception. One exception. It feels small. It is small, but the boundary has been breached, and the next exception comes easier, and the next one easier still. Boundary erosion is not one large violation. It is a sequence of small ones that compound. Each individual breach is survivable. The pattern is not. This is how people who have excellent financial plans still end up exactly where they started. The plan was sound. The boundaries were not held. The fourth leak is temporal disorder. This is what happens when your relationship with time is chaotic. Compounding requires consistency over time. It requires that the same action happens at the same interval, repeatedly, without interruption. But if your schedule is reactive, if your days are shaped by whatever is most urgent rather than what is most structural, then nothing compounds. Investments are irregular. Habits are inconsistent. Reviews never happen because there is no time that has been protected for them. This leak is invisible because the person is busy. They are doing things. They are working. But the work is not accumulating because it is not ordered in time. Motion without temporal structure is activity, not progress. And activity without compounding is a treadmill. The fifth leak is signal contamination. This is the most subtle and the most expensive. Signal contamination is what happens when you say one thing and believe another. When you set a financial goal but privately doubt you deserve it. When you commit to a plan but carry an unspoken assumption that it will not work, the conscious intention says forward. The unconscious signal says stop. Other people read this signal. Opportunities respond to it. Your own behavior is shaped by it in ways you do not notice. You show up slightly less prepared. You hesitate at moments that require decisiveness. You undercharge, overdeliver, and wonder why the math never works. The contamination is not in the strategy, it is in the signal beneath the strategy. If you recognized yourself in any of these, and most people will recognize at least two, here is what to do this week. Pick the one leak you identified most strongly. Not all five. One. The one that made you pause. The one where you thought, that is exactly what I do. Then track it for 7 days. Not fix it, track it. Every time the behavior occurs, write down 3 things. What happened, what you were feeling when it happened, and what it cost, in money, in time, or in opportunity. Do not judge it. Do not try to stop it. Just observe. Most people have never measured a leak. They have felt it. They have regretted it. But they have never tracked it with precision. And you cannot seal what you have not measured. 7 days. 1 leak. Written down. That is the beginning of structural repair. If you want to go deeper than 1 leak, the Wealth Codex contains a full 30-item leak audit that covers all 5 categories. It identifies which leaks are active, which are possible, and which are not a factor for you. It also includes a 7-day tracking worksheet designed for exactly the exercise I just described. Link is in the description. Subscribe if this is the kind of content that makes you think differently about money. I will see you in the next one.